الحمد لله يعني ولا is a real man دي. You understand? Are you really sure, G? Are you really sure?
Hello, my darlings. Hello, my darlings. How is everyone? I hope you're all doing well. I hope the sound is okay. I hope your ears are not being blown out because I've done some fuckery, shall we say, with the sound to try to get it crisper and clearer, but I don't know if that has worked. So we're testing it out, kids. We're testing it out. Let's see how it all unfolds today. Big up to everyone in the chat. We got Ultra in his house. We got big up Rodney K. We've got old school McCoy and NPC as always. NPC, you can set your watch to him. He's a regular. No buffering. No buffering. Okay. Was it buffering? Walla licked. Gotta show this one. Walla licked your brown star. Walla's licked a lot of brown stars. Bonnie and Clyde, I believe it's Trouble in Paradise. I noticed there's a little bit of trouble in Le Paradise of the Bonnie and the Clyde gang. So let's see how that works. Big up Skyworks. Is this the new G Block? Should I dare to say it? There is no more G Block, people. This is the chocolate star block. This is the chocolate star foundation. I don't know. Shall we call it the chocolate star foundation? You think that name's gonna catch on? I hope so. I hope so because I like that name. Now, there's been a few things. Now, this is actually a corrections, or maybe a stream to kind of give all the facts about a particular issue, which I was exceedingly animated about, shall we say. I was really pissed at this CNN article that came out, and I'll be meaning to do a stream correcting that. But of course, we all know a few things happened in the last 24, 48 hours on these what do you call it, on these YouTube streams, so on these YouTube streets, shall we say. So things have changed a little bit. Now the funny thing is, I find it interesting that I can't actually post my I can't actually show you the Odyssey logo because I've actually managed to block it out because it's right at the top there. Okay, I'm gonna just simply advertise Odyssey. It's actually, let me see if I can maybe upload the logo here. Maybe we could just oh no, I don't want odyssey.com, you beast. Just want the term Odyssey. Maybe we could get some images up here. Here we are. This'll work. So yeah, I want to direct you all to my Twitter account and my Odyssey account. Now I will be posting them in the chat. Actually, they are, I think, they're in the underpants section below. but I will also post them here because unfortunately I have to get you guys to go over there to see the videos of the things that I wish to talk about when it comes to Bonnie and Clyde, or shall we say the illegal immigrant and the thought. So I'm gonna post these two, and then pin them for a while. Pin the messages. Also, I'm going to drop in a StreamYard link, although I've got a little bit of a rant that I want to go on myself first before I get on the panel. But yeah, if you feel like having a chat about the subjects discussed this evening, we can discuss them. Unfortunately, I won't be able to actually show you footage of said discussion if it's about the thought on the illegal immigrant, the illegal Egyptian, as someone called out back when I was viciously attacked by the two delinquents. G Block is on Discord. Ah, yes, I know. Nobody's talking on Discord though, Ultra. I barely get anyone in any of the rooms conversing. It's fucking dead. I've been sitting in there for like ages at a time. No one's there. No one's talking. So what's going on? If the G Block is on Discord, then how come no one's talking on Discord? But anyway, latest video on my channel, dude. What's your channel? G Ultra. Can you at least give us a link? Okay, hold on. Let me make Ultra an admin, and then you can then post the link. Post the link so we know where we're going. Some of us need a bit more help here, guidance. But yeah, I found the G Block Discord. So guys, if you're interested in Velivision and the G Block, go there. There's things happening. Conversations are taking place. Discord is, yeah, I know. It's a bit pants, but you know, it is what it is. As at the moment, unfortunately, we can't. Hey, big up Base Welshman in his house. So yeah, I'm just stalling a little bit before I get into the meat and potatoes of this evening's entertainment. Certainly about the Bonnie and Clyde stuff, which we know as the illegal immigrant and the thought, the hippo. So obviously the conversation is going to go around the illegal Egyptian and the thought. We're definitely going to have a conversation about that. All right, thank you, Mr. Ultra. Okay, so that's Ultra's link to his channel. Please, guys, take that and check it out if you want G Block shenanigans, as one would say. The G Block shenanigans. I hope the sound quality is good for you guys. I don't know exactly how it's coming out the other end. I did a little test. It seemed okay, so I'm just going with it. Yep, guiding. No. The G Block isn't guiding a new generation. That was gang. That's our good friend Respect. That's who runs that little fucking shit show. I actually like Zaveda. You put that in there, Ultra, but you never fail to fuck her over every time you're having a conversation with her. You're the one that exposed Respect trying to justify child marriages in the Middle East, and Zabeda herself continuously does that, and yet they have the goal to call everyone else a child offender, or someone who a Jimmy Savile. They have the goal to call everyone else Jimmy Savile, and then they go, yeah, but 9-year-olds, you can get married to a 9-year-old if you're in Zimbabwe or Botswana or Saudi Arabia or Afghanistan. It's okay. It's okay if you're marrying a 9-year-old. It's okay. It's just when you're a Jimmy Savile and you're fiddling with them. That's the part that gets all wrong, because they still have to justify a prophet that was a Jimmy Savile prophet. Anyway, less about that and more about the giant bukkake. No, a giant poo show. Shall we say poo? Is poo okay for for YouTube. I don't know at this point. I guess I'm gonna have to basically follow the same rules as Peppa Pig fucking channel in order to be safe on YouTube, because I've released, I don't know if you guys know, yet another new terms of service which was gonna be implemented next year, which I'm sure will make it even shittier to be on YouTube than ever. And thus, on that note, I would like to introduce you all to the wonderful world of Odyssey. That's right, kids. You should go and check out Odyssey. Odyssey, and actually, hold on. Let me actually. What am I doing? I'm actually not even promoting the group that I personally have some work invested in, that I'm doing some cameraman work for. Yeah, you should actually first go to this place. Screw the others. Go here first. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Let me. Mm. Let me see. Images. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Should have brought this up first, and then I'll introduce. Oh God, it's tiny. Anyway, let's just keep it like that. Yeah, guys. Before we go to Odyssey, check out speakerscorner.online. That's right, speakerscorner.online. The wonderful place where I am currently working as cameraman number 1. In fact, I am the sole cameraman. So go ahead and check them out, because we've been posting some awesome content. Recently, we covered the what you call it, the farmers, the farmers protests in India, and now we are going to cover other things. We're going to do some good work. We've been doing some good solid work on Speakers Corner Online, dude. I'm not joking with you guys. We've been working our butts off, freezing our butts off too. And I think we're doing some positive shit. This is not some thoughty channel where we're just gonna discuss drama and crap. This is actually some positive stuff. Hopefully this is coming through. Yeah, speakerscorner.online. We've got the Speakers Corner YouTube channel, but also they've got Speakers Corner. What's it called? The Speakers Corner TV, Speakers Corner TV, which is here, which is broadcasting all of their stuff. There you go. The Speakers Corner TV.
There doesn't seem to be an opposition demonstration against the.
Oh, wait a minute. That was cut a little bit funny. But yeah, this was the video that we did with Manny Cinder doing his best.
Doesn't seem to be an opposition
best reporter
against the farmers' protests. So if they do, we will love to have a word with them and interview them. But we do have a first interview lined up already. We have a gentleman who's going to share some very vital information. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. This is like hours long. Of course, I have my own channel within Speakers Corner Online, and if you wish to see some of Zubaida's greatest hits, you can find them on my particular on my section. Of course, I'm covering Islam. I put a lot of different stuff up. Some of them I can't actually. Well, I mean, I suppose I could play this.
Some people call me the space cowboy.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you can get a lot of material out there. The thought is featured front and center in my in my section of speakerscorner.online. So if you go to speakerscorner.online, look for me, you will find me there. But where you can also find me is here, the Odyssey channel. The Odyssey is where I have a little bit more longer. This is more like TikTok level videos. I can't post really long form videos on here yet. They don't give you the sort of capacity for long videos. But for now, for short videos, 1 or 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. It's more like a TikTok-y type of environment. This one, on the other hand, Odyssey, which I would like you all to visit, has some amazing shit. Now, I can't even show you some of the images of the thumbnails that I'm using because I'm worried about YouTube's offense on thumbnails, but I've literally posted 3 new videos just now on Odyssey, which you should see if you wish to partake in any conversation about the hippo and the illegal immigrant, because those 2 videos will then give you ideas. And also, of course, my Twitter. You guys want to go on my Twitter because I have tweeted certain tweets about the thought and yeah, about certain ass eating habits, shall we say. It's and also this is another thing I want to point out. This is a video that someone posted on Twitter, which I retweeted, where Walla Walla has £6,000 in cash. How does an illegal immigrant who's not even allowed to work in the UK have £6,000 in cash on them? I don't know the answer to that question. I hope you guys turn your mic down a notch, dude. Ah, come on, man. You see, this is always the case. Somebody comes along and says, turn your shit down. Well, my shit is going to stay about here. You turn your volume down. I'm sorry. But anyway, as far as yeah, this particular situation, yeah, how does Walla Walla have £6,000 that he's walking around with? He's walking around the streets with £6,000 in cash that looks like it came out of an ATM, to be honest with you. I think it's his rent money. I think it's his mum's I don't know, him and his mum's rent money or some shit, but he's walking around with £6,000 worth of cash, and we don't know why, we don't know how that is the case. So yeah, that's somewhat concerning, to say the least. So yeah, what exactly happened? The problem is, I can tell you guys what emerged with Walla Walla and the thought, but I can't show you them. The only way you can see the evidence is to go for yourself onto my channel, onto my Odyssey channel, and actually watch the videos. And yes, it's a giant shit show where Walla Walla, I think, is extremely jealous of this guy Milio, who is the new host with Zubaydah on her channel, and I think he just didn't like that guy. Obviously. I mean, what I don't understand is, you guys, if you go to my Odyssey channel, you will see the video of Zubaydah accidentally turning on her webcam. This woman is incredibly hideous. This is an unbelievably ugly individual on like multiple levels. She has to coat her face in about 6 layers of makeup in order to bring herself up to like a 3 or a 4 level category. She's like, I think she's in minus numbers without makeup. But you be the judge. If you can fuck that ugly beast with her double chin that I saw on that live stream when she accidentally turned on her mic, then you're a desperate man. I think that's what I think is desperate man. Oops. Sorry. I pressed shit. My fucking. Okay, here we are. Anyway, so yeah, if you go to that, I mean, yeah, you said I've had similar amounts on me, but it was to buy Christmas presents. Yeah, but the thing is, Ultra, you have 6,000. You walk around with £6,000 because you are a working, tax-paying British citizen. This immigrant is not a British citizen. He doesn't have legal rights to work. How is he making that kind of money in cash? It's got to be all illegal. Even if he's doing it through honest means, like, I don't know, painting and decorating or fucking eating ass. Well, actually, I'm not sure eating ass is actually legal because it would constitute as prostitution. But let's say painting and decorating, even if he's selling hamburgers, it's illegal because he's not allowed to work. He doesn't have visa to work in this country. His case is still on in review. So if he can't work, how is he walking around with £6,000 in cash? You wonder. I think he sells drugs. I think that's what he does. But that's not up to me to decide. I would leave it open to everyone else's imagination and interpretation to what these people get up to. Is this a kind of immigrant we want in this country? Is really what you want to ask yourself. Because I'm personally, I mean, I don't even have to do it. Zubaydah on her own channel, when she had a massive fight with Walid last night, she said she's going to have him deported. So I don't even have to try to have this man deported. I think Zubaydah is the one who's going to do it for me. She's going to do my job for me. And I've already exposed her for the weed smoking, cocaine taking, alcohol drinking slapper that she is. So I don't think that's particularly going to go away. And I've reposted my 2020 New Year's Eve party on Odyssey as well, so you can see it all on Odyssey. Again, I've exposed Modine. I've exposed. I mean, the level of exposing on this Odyssey channel is through the roof. Is through the roof. This one channel is the most devastating place that Zubaydah and Walid and all these fucking degenerates could possibly imagine. Everything about their degenerate fucking lifestyle is exposed on here. But unfortunately, that's the only place I can't even play this in this live stream because they would have it striked. So you have to go for yourself and check it out. The fact that Walla Walla is talking about how Zubaydah ate his ass because she started posting about him being obsessed with fingering men, and he didn't just, by the way, write it in text. I posted the text on Twitter, but he's then doubled up on it in a video, which again you can find in Odyssey. Go to the Odyssey. You need to be on Odyssey to see all the goodies. To see all the goodies. All the goodies are on Odyssey, kids. Okay, now down to the serious shit. Fuck these degenerates and their degenerate lifestyle. They can eat ass all day. I don't give a shit. I want to actually play this video, which is, I think, base Welshman. You're going to find this interesting. Again, I've retweeted this, so if you guys want to get this video, go ahead and check out my Twitter and twat me, if you will.
I think it's going to be a very skeptical American public about taking the vaccine, and they should be.
We can't trust the president and take his word and take a vaccine that might cause harm to us.
If and when the vaccine comes.
I just want to point out, these are all these vaccine hesitant individuals, which I believe the American and the British government should actually, take actions against. And also, I think the social media companies should be banning them from social media, because these are all people who are encouraging vaccine hesitancy, and we should have these people removed and cancelled from all social media platform, right?
And it's not likely to go through all the tests that needs to be and the trials that are needed to be done.
Let's just say there's a vaccine that is approved and even distributed before the election. Would you get it?
Well, I think that's going to be an issue for all of us.
When we finally do, God willing, get a vaccine, who's going to take the shot? Who's going to take the shot?
We will need to have access to the vaccine results so we can make our independent assessment to make sure that Donald Trump's fingerprints are not on it.
You can be the first one to say, sign me up. They now say it's okay.
Is the vaccine safe? Frankly, I'm not going to trust the federal government.
These vaccine hesitant people. These people should be deplatformed, I tell you. These people are encouraging vaccine hesitancy, and we should make sure that these people are out of their job. Well, I mean, this individual that we're looking at right now, this is literally a man who's a serial molester and harasser of women. He had to resign because a report came out of him touching up women in his administration. This guy is a pervert through and through. So let's not beat around the bush. This guy isn't only a vaccine hesitance person. He's actually Mr. Governor Cuomo is a well, not a convicted, but a known molester, and has violated every HR rule that we probably got in the United States or in the UK. So yeah, this guy is not a person of character, or good character, shall we say. Far from it.
Opinion. And I wouldn't recommend to New Yorkers based on the federal government's opinion.
And the question of whether it's real when it's there, that requires enormous transparency.
Would you trust that vaccine?
There's very little that we can trust that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth.
We cannot take for granted this process will be free of political influence.
I don't trust the president, and I don't trust the FDA.
If Donald Trump can't give answers and the administration can't give answers to these three questions, the American people should not have confidence.
You're going to say to the American people now, here's a vaccine, it was new, it was done quickly, but trust this federal administration and their health administration that it's safe?
I will say that I would not trust Donald Trump.
How confident are you in the approval process of the FDA right now?
How confident am I? I'm not that confident.
Yes, I would be hesitant, but I'm going to ask a lot of questions.
You're going to need someone other than this FDA and this CDC saying it's safe.
You got to make all of it available to other experts across the nation so they can look and see. So there's consensus, this is a safe vaccine.
What I'm worried about is that there's some sort of October surprise and that there is a pressure put on the decision makers here to announce a vaccine in October of 2020.
We're going to put together our own group of doctors and medical experts to review the vaccine and the efficacy and the protocol. And if they say it's safe, then I'll go to the people of New York and I will say it's safe.
But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Wow. I mean, if you want any more evidence that politicians are just born lying mofos, then what more do you need? Literally, these people did a 360 U-turn on the very thing they were saying because it was on the one administration in order to disparage, or I guess, I don't know, put off people from literally taking the very vaccine. Now they're mandating them to take, not even just asking them to take, forcing them to take. They're mandating the fact that they should take it. It's mandatory for them to take it. The very thing that they themselves wouldn't want to take. Well, now you would say a year ago. But it is unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. These people, how can we trust any politician after this? And I'm not even talking about the supposed good ones. I'm talking all of them, the whole lot. These people are professional liars. Professional liars. They get paid to lie. And we have to follow this. This is insane. Absolutely insane. But anyway, as far as yeah, okay, so I covered the Odyssey. Yep, go to my Odyssey, check out my Odyssey. By the way, Odyssey is at the moment the only place that's any fun, that's got anything of any value. All the people who used to be good fun, who used to do things controversial, who used to have interesting conversations, are on Odyssey right now. They're not on YouTube anymore. YouTube is I think, personally, I think we should allow YouTube to go the way of the dodo bird and let it die. Let it die. Let it go. Let it go. Because I'm not on this channel anymore. Yeah, we should just leave it to the morons, because it's just not worth it anymore. It's different when they do it. Yeah, exactly, based. It's different when they fucking do it. Okay, my next article. Now I'm gonna play silent clips of this because again, you can find it. Just type CNN Afghan girls. Just type that and you'll get it. It's the first link. This was a an expose, a sort of news report, newsreel, which CNN ran, and to this day they haven't retracted it. They haven't called it a hoax or it was a mistake. They're stuck by it. So now what I'm presenting to you is both the CNN and another website's perspective on this. And really, ultimately, what it really comes down to is who you believe. And that's all I can give you, because I can't verify the other site's refutation of this. I can just tell you that somebody else said something different. That's all I've got, because I can't really get any more unless I go to Afghan or call these people up, this father of this girl up. I wouldn't be able to make any more. I can't verify it anymore. That's the problem. But I will say this. This is the original video. This was a girl in Afghanistan. This is her dad. And her dad, they all live in camps. They all live in these camps, which is actually at the beginning here. Look, there's a kid. They live in these kind of like refugee type camps. Batgaz, Afghanistan, I guess that's where it is. So yeah, and you see this little girl in the white scarf. The little girl in the white scarf. Her father, basically, and this is it. That's where they live. Kala Anu region, I guess. I don't know, some area. This is sort of a Gore province. They're giving you some sort of location sort of indicator. Anyway, this father sells this little girl. Well, according to Islamic law, she's a woman because she probably has her period. She's about 9 years old. So this woman, according to Muslims, according to Islamic sources, this quote-unquote woman is sold to this man who is about 55 years old. Now, I suppose I can play this. Now note that this guy is walking in with a young boy. Now, I just want to make sure you see that young boy. He's coming in with a young boy. Now, this will become relevant later on. Look at the young boy. Look at the size of the young boy, though. Look at the size of him. Now, this will become relevant in a moment. So I just want you guys to note this boy, and this is the man who's going to marry that quote-unquote woman, according to Islam. So here we are. We're coming in. The father is there. The man gives the father, according to the CNN report, around $2,000 US, just over $2,000 US. After this news story there was another one I read where they are literally marrying off little baby girls. Fuck me. Yeah, I suppose there's that as well. But you see, now this is why I'm calling it the correction. Because I went on Rodney K's stream and I played this clip and we both lost our fucking collective shit. We were literally like talking about how we would beat the living shit out of this old man with the beard for buying a 9-year-old. Now, I'm going to play it on a little bit more because there is the money. He gave him the money and they shook hands. Now, they brought the girl. Now, some people, this is the reason I say note. Some people say that this girl isn't the girl. This is the boy. They dressed up as a girl. But it's the girl. You can see it's the girl. You can see her face. That isn't the young boy. It's not even the same size as the young boy. So some of that is just bullshit. And we can clearly see. This is the young girl. They put a little wreath around her neck. I guess that's to like celebrate her wedding day, I suppose. I mean, I'll tell you the alternate story, and then you guys will go over this and try to figure out if that is actually the case. Whichever the scenario is, it's all fucked up. But okay, let me show you. Okay, now the CNN story is that this girl is marrying this man. The father has married her to this guy. The guy is saying, yes, I will look after her and all of that. And he grabs her. She's crying at this point. I'm not playing the sound, but she's actually crying. And then he kind of takes her. He's got the bag with all her clothes and stuff, I guess. And he's like going. She kind of doesn't want to go. She resists, but you know, she doesn't really have a choice. She's kind of resisting. Yeah, it's the most disturbing, most horrific fucking thing. Uh, um, okay, it's horrifically disturbing. Anyway, and this is the video clip that went viral, and everybody was absolutely and justifiably angry about the situation. Now, I was sent after that this article that comes from a particular website. I'll be honest, I can't tell. Hold on. It's called Rukshana Media. It's from apparently a site called Rukshana Media, and it says CNN bombshell report on child marriage was staged, say family and friends. And this was the 12th of November, and this is the correction. The alleged sale of an Afghan man's 9-year-old daughter to a man 6 times her age made international headlines earlier this month after American broadcaster CNN aired the exchange. But several people connected to the family, including the father himself, have told Rukshana Media. Now, this is where it comes down to who do you believe? This is what I want to express. Who do you believe? It said the father himself told Rukshana Media that the story was fabricated. I didn't sell her into marriage, said the father, Abdul Malik, recounting how CNN had filmed him with his uncle. That old man is apparently the uncle. So let me just get this video in a form where you guys. Okay, apparently this is the uncle of the girl of the father, and so that's technically this little girl's great uncle, I guess. So that's what they're claiming. Where was I? Yeah. I did not sell her into marriage, Father Abdul Malik recounted the CNN filmed him with his uncle, to whom he owes 360,000 Afghans, about $3,800. He took my daughter as collateral until I pay him back. Now, this is the fucked up part of this, is that they dressed her up in like a little wreath. And why would they dress her up like this? Why would they put a little wreath like she's getting married type of, or this is some kind of a celebration? Why would they even do that if this is just her great uncle taking her as collateral? Now, the other part is fucked up is, in which part of the world do we take children as collateral for loans? That to me is also a little bit fucked up. You mean to tell me, even if the marriage is not true, in Afghanistan, if I lend you some money, I can take your child as collateral? That happens? How fucked up is that? No one seems to even point out that's also fucked up. That you're taking someone's child as collateral for a $2,000 loan. But okay, we let that one go. So he says as collateral, he until I pay him back. Malik said in a phone interview on November 9th, 8 days after the CNN broadcast. In the exclusive CNN report, which aired on American primetime during host Jake Tapper's newscast, the lead viewers witnessed Malik accepting money from a 55-year-old man called Qurban in exchange for his daughter, Parvana. Parvana means a butterfly in I presume in Farsi. So I don't know if that's Parwana. It's the same thing, but I think it's the same thing. I just misspelled it. The girl is shown giggling and with siblings and playing makeup before being taken by Qurban for marriage at the price of $2,200. His large hand grabs her small frame. Parwana tries to pull away, but it is futile. The fate of the small helpless child has been sealed, a female voiceover says ominously. Malik has said who has 6 daughters, said the money his uncle handed him was actually an additional loan to the The journalist asked me if we could reenact the episode in front of them, and we did. Malik said in one of the several interviews, "We fundamentally reject the entire premise of the article. We stand absolutely by our reporting." I see. Sorry. Malik said in one interview. This is CNN. CNN saying, "We stand absolutely by our reporting, which was put together by trusted, experienced Afghan journalists and CNN staff with deep knowledge of Afghanistan," a CNN spokesperson said in response to Rukshana Media's request for comments. This is some recommended. "The segment makes uncomfortable viewing. Child marriage was well documented, and here is the other thing. This is critical. Even this website, who is debunking the CNN article, has to admit this. The segment makes uncomfortable viewing. Child marriage was well documented and prevalent in Afghanistan long before the Taliban swept to power. In Afghanistan, in August at lightning speed, toppling the Afghan government and winning the American war. But increased poverty and extreme hunger are pushing more Afghans to sell their children." So this is happening regardless of whether CNN's report is correct or not. Whether CNN fabricated this or not is irrelevant to the fact that this scenario that CNN played out of fathers selling their daughters to 55-year-old men is happening. Even this article admits that is going on in Afghanistan. It's just, it could be that this particular one was somewhat fabricated in order to give a visual impression of what everybody knows is happening in Afghanistan today. So this is something I wanted to make sure everyone recognizes. Even this article that is trying to refute the CNN article has to admit that parents selling their daughters to old men is going on in Afghanistan. That is not fake. That's happening. It could be that this CNN particular article is the one that's just been kind of fabricated to give an imagery, a visual image of what really happens in Afghanistan. But increased poverty and extreme hunger are pushing more Afghans to sell their children, mostly daughters, to survive and and there have been widespread reports of the practice in local and foreign media, including the BBC. In recent weeks, the Afghan economy has collapsed amid a year-long drought, millions of dollars of lost income and withheld aid, becoming, in the words of World Food Programme Director David Beasley earlier this week, the worst humanitarian crisis on earth. Girls and women are disproportionately affected by the financial crisis, who face gender obstacles getting food, health care and financial resources, Human Rights Watch said Thursday. Malik and his family are extremely poor. For the past 4 years, they have lived in an internal displacement camp in Kala Inua, the capital of northwestern Badghis province. Anyway, sorry, the pronunciations, I'm killing it here. Where around 350 families have taken shelter in dire conditions, living in tents between muddy walls. that's fine anyway. The allegations highlights the increasing difficulty of reporting in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, where most media outlets have shut down in recent months. Journalists who retain often operate in an atmosphere of fear and self-censorship, with severely reduced access to official information. The story of the let me see if I can just the story of a fabrication was first reported on November 7th by the local Batdis radio station. Others at the camp corroborated Malik's claim that the sale of his daughter was performed for the cameras. The camp representative Jalil Hafez described Malik as an impoverished opium addict. The two men in the CNN story are uncle and nephew. They made up the story to get help, Hafez told Rukshana media. This is what I mean. It's depending on who you believe. Malik said he received no money from CNN nor anyone else in exchange for being filmed. A camp neighbor and family friend who goes by one name, Kari, said Malik's relatives are now threatening him for what he has done because the story is not true. Considering the two men are the heart of the story, are closely related, the potential union between Parvana and her father's uncle would be considered incest in Afghan society. The story is totally a lie. It's completely untrue. And the camp's mullah, Ahmed Sheikh Shah, noting that Malik and Parvana were filmed by CNN in a house in an urban setting, even though they live in the camp. As for Parvana, she still lives with her father and not with her alleged new husband. On one of the occasions when a Rashmana media reporter called Malik, Parvana answered his cell phone saying her father had popped out, but life for the young girl is anything but rosy. Please hang up. He's coming, she said, scared. My father will beat me. Okay, so that's the general story or the refutation of that CNN report. I just want to put it both out there so that everyone has a chance to actually look at both sides of this. I've got, friends who are Afghans, and they say that this sort of thing is unacceptable. But they know, they all admit that it still happens, but it is extremely frowned upon, and most parents will never do it publicly or admit to it publicly, because the society or the social structure will not be good for them. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on both of these things. I am now going to kind of open the panel up to anyone who wishes to discuss this or the thought subject. Now, I would say be careful with the thought subject, because I can't show any videos and I can't show any related material on YouTube, because I believe YouTube will the people involved will strike the video, and YouTube will uphold this, because YouTube are dicks these days. So there's nothing I can do. We can discuss it. We can talk about the shit show that is Bonnie and Clyde, and the horrific people that they are as individuals and as a couple. But I can't really show you anymore anything else. If you want to see the dalil, as the Muslims would say, if you want to see the evidence of Zubaydah eating ass and Walid's claiming that she eats his ass, Walid made a video. He said it. He also posted some. They had a posted communication, if you will, on a common post, which is weird to me. Why they would they would have these conversations in a public setting, but they do. I think it could be that maybe they need a bit of drama. Maybe they need some people talking about them. All right. Big up my main man, MC. Okay, let's get MC on here. Big up, MC.
Okay, big up, Banksy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. We are live and in color. How are you?
So, I'm great. Despite my country being invaded by lots of cannon fodder from the Middle East through Belarus and Russia.
Yeah.
Good, despite of that.
It's Belarus, right? They were coming from Belarus. Is that the one?
Yes, but let's face it, Belarus is just a puppet state of the larger country in the east.
Of Russia.
We know what.
Are you talking Russia? Are they a puppet of Russia or EU?
Belarus is, of course, puppet of Russia. They are a dictatorship. They always were. Let me tell you a story about Belarus and its Lenin clone that we call Lukashenko. This guy, this Lenin clone, wants to be the ruler of Russia. He thought that if you're going to be good enough and made all the right steps, Yeltsin, back in those days, would give him the Kremlin. He was going to be the ruler of Russia after Yeltsin. But Yeltsin was smart enough and said, no way. I'm not giving to this guy Russia. I love this country to the extent that I will not give it to Lukashenko. Lukashenko never, in other words, he never realized his dream.
Yeah.
Although he is Putin's little piece of used rug to wipe off his shoes or whatever else Putin is wiping off for now with Lukashenko.
Interesting.
Yes, Belarus basically could be a Russian province, to be honest. Belarusian language doesn't exist almost anymore. They don't have their own currency. They don't, and speaking Belarusian is illegal in Belarus now, in many places.
I see. All right. So how is what do you think about the current shit show with the thought and the Egyptian?
Oh, so we skip from an invasion to ass eating. Well, what can
that was brilliant. The segue from political invasion to eating ass, because that's the kind of transition we like over here at the Banksy Style Show.
I know, and that's why I love to be here because there are no limits, and there is no slow. Fuck that shit. Let's talk and say whatever we want to.
Straight into the ass eating.
Yes. Although when you
no holds barred.
Although I must tell to you, I will probably hold grudge against you for telling me about Zaubeda's ass and wanting me to imagine that.
No. I'm not asking you to imagine her ass. I'm just asking you to sort of consider Waleed under there licking away. No, actually, no. It's not Waleed eating her ass. It's her eating Waleed's ass. Let's be correct.
That's what I want to say. That's what I want to actually say. The thing is that she will do everything for attention. She's basically like, I mean, I'm sorry, but she's an attention whore. What we can say about her?
That is true.
So
you think this whole thing is a ruse to just get some attention?
Well, of course. And speaking of her, when she was so involved into being more of a faithful Muslim, I didn't read any chapter of the Quran or any hadith that says, eat your husband's ass and tell the world about it.
Well, they say that the woman must obey the man. And if the man is asked for a little bit of ass eating, then the woman, in order to be a good wife, she kind of has to it's kind of mandatory for her now. She can't really not eat ass. She kind of has to eat ass because the husband has asked.
Good for Waleed.
the ass eater.
Yes, and Walid can capitalize on that if he would be smart enough. I mean, when he would say once, "Don't worry, I will buy you chocolate, or you're going to receive chocolate from me." A month later, Zabida ask, "Where's my chocolate?" "You eat it out, all of it."
You ate. It was a chocolate star.
Yes.
I got you a chocolate star, and you ate it.
Like that's true. She ate the chocolate starfish.
Oh.
What did she expect? Anyway,
that is awesome.
I'm just regretting the thing that I cannot meet Ali Dawa and Muhammad Hijab and ask them about those things.
The ass eating.
Is
it halal or haram to eat your husband's ass?
Is it halal or haram to tell that to the entire world?
Well, I mean, I think whether you say it to the whole world, it's the sin isn't just to say that I did something. The sin is to do something. I don't know if God punish you if you claim that you ate ass but you never ate ass, or does he punish you when you actually eat ass, or would he not punish you if you eat ass but don't tell anyone that you ate ass? Which one of these is true?
That's what I'm talking about.
So complicated, isn't it? I didn't think eating ass would be that complicated. The Sharia way of eating ass, the halal ass. Is there a halal way to eat ass? Is the question on the table here, gentlemen.
I mean, and if there is not, we have to ask the people that are writing down the hadiths to make a hadith about it.
Yes, a fatwa. We should get an imam to write a fatwa, because they can't write hadiths anymore. So you got to realize hadiths are the sort of biography of Muhammad, like what he did at his time. Now, unless someone already wrote about a story of Muhammad eating ass, then we can't really write hadiths. What you can write, though, nowadays, as an imam especially, is fatwas. Fatwas are like decrees. Like, for example, I'll give you one. One of these mullahs one time saw a woman riding a bicycle, and he became sexually aroused by her thighs kind of rubbing together as she was pedaling. So he wrote a fatwa to ban women riding bicycles because he could arouse men's loins. I'm not joking. This is true. This is 100% true. This is not in any way exaggerated. I've added a little bit to it with the whole he got aroused. What actually was that he saw a woman riding a bicycle, and he wrote a fatwa to ban women from riding bicycles because he suggests that this could arouse men's sexual desires. Now, my translation of that is, he saw a woman riding a bicycle, he got horny, then he realized, oh, this is sinful, I'm getting horny watching this woman ride a bicycle, and wrote a fatwa, kind of to resolve to sort of, it's kind of like out of guilt. He wrote that fatwa to say, oh, we got to ban these women riding bicycles. They're making me horny. They're making men horny. So that's how imams do it. So yeah, we could write a fatwa about eating ass and whether it is a halal or a haram way of eating ass in Islam. I don't know. I'm not a scholar. I think Muhammad Hijab would be the person who would be able to actually make a decree on eating ass.
I would ask him that if I could. If I would live in Britain, I would go there and ask him that in the speaker's corner.
Yeah.
Is the right Islamic proper halal way to eat ass, and is it a good thing to tell that to the entire world via internet like Zawbida did? Tell me, Muhammad.
Exactly.
I want to know everything. Teach me.
Exactly.
Anyway, I have a story for you, but you know something? It will be a hell for Muslim men in the future if there will be good enough of a number of Islamic women. Have you ever seen the series? I mean, Married with Children. Do you know even about it?
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah.
There was one episode where Al Bundy got aroused when Peggy Bundy finally have started to work, and she started to wiping the table to prepare prepared for the barbecue. He got aroused that she finally is not sitting on the couch and moving her ass, so he took her upstairs, just because he's seen the movement. I mean, if a woman would play it right, if she wouldn't want to have any sex with a man, they could make them not to do anything, just because it could arouse the man. You get me? What kind of a hell it would cause?
Yeah,
if that thing would came out. I mean, you want that would be fucking awesome. I mean, it would be Sharia law, but basically shooting in your face. Sharia law shooting in your face, shot in your face, or shot in your foot, or wherever. But,
exactly.
But you get me. If that will going to go to the ayatollahs, imams, and muftis, the woman will be actually set free from working around the house. Oh, fuck.
Technically, because cleaning, and if you're cleaning the house and a man gets aroused by your cleaning, because especially back in the day when they didn't even have vacuum cleaners, they had to like sweep with the sweeping brush, and the sweeping brushes could be like quite short. So imagine a woman with a dustpan and brush bending over trying to pick something off the floor. There should be a fatwa. There should be a fatwa against that.
That's the point. I mean, the man would be so made to work around the house, and the woman would do nothing. Holy shit! It will be hell for them in the future.
Exactly.
Just wait till one smart woman and a few cuck men will going to make the help those women to do it.
True.
Islam is finished in a way.
Yeah, that's it. Homework is done. Women can't do housework anymore. Or, I mean, the thing is, there's no way you can even put them in a burqa, and you could still, when they bend over, it's just gonna give the position. There's no way a woman can really stop that from happening, unless they have to just give them vacuum cleaners, so they don't ever bend over. Ever. It just has to be upright. Vacuum cleaners is the only thing a woman can use around the house.
True, and I admit that I was even aroused when a woman have one time when a woman done it on all fours. When she had to go on the floor, or even when she standed upright. I didn't care. There was also those kind of situations, and what they will do if they want to describe them that accurately and with those details. Holy shit! The muftis will get a fatwa on woman working around the house, and the man will be home so much screwed.
Yeah.
In fact, the guys wouldn't be probably also allowed in the future to even have housemates. Except if they would be male. Imagine male housemates working around houses in Islamic countries only.
Oh shit! Oh well, the thing is, that's the problem though. Those housemaids would all be abused to hell. So it will still be haram. Like housework will be haram.
I know.
Because a man gets aroused. I mean, someone in the post actually in the chat says, women should wear a 2-man tent around them. So it's like a tent constantly in there.
Yes. You have to be mobile for this part of the house, that part of the house. Also walking down the stairs.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna make walking around the house a little bit awkward. But that's the price to pay that you won't go to hell. It would be a price worth to pay. You got to remember, this is your eternal soul in Jahannam, and in fact, as Muhammad himself has said, the majority of those who dwell within Jahannam will be women. And to be honest with you, though, when Muhammad said that the majority of people in hell are going to be women, and of course, as we know, prostitutes, strippers, those who drink alcohol, those who do drugs, those who fornicate, all of them are going to hell. The way I see it is, hell is going to be a much, much better place to go, because all the fun people are in hell. I mean,
that's the point.
Think about it.
That's why I'm not afraid.
Yeah, I mean, think about the people who are actually going to make it to heaven are the most. First of all, there's a whole bunch of jihadi fucking fanatics. So Osama bin Laden and Abu Mullah Omar and all of these fucking Ayatollah Khomeini and all these fucking fanatical Muslim assholes are going to be supposedly in heaven. All your suicide bombers are in heaven. And then you're going to get a bunch of fucking fanatical jihadi women with their veils on. They're supposed to all be in heaven. Who wants to go fucking be with them for eternity? I want to be with the strippers and the hookers. I want to be doing lines off a demon stripper's tits in hell. That's a good time right there.
And the Islamic heaven is discriminating heavily against my culture. I mean, I want the vodka to reappear in my heaven. Sorry, but I want the vodka from
exactly. They only talk about rivers of honey and wine. They never talk about vodka, tequila, whiskey, single malt, pina coladas. How about if I want a fucking martini? How about I want to reenact James Bond? How come I can't have a martini? I just have to drink wine and honey for the rest of eternity. That is horrific. That is the most. That to me. That's hell. You just sent me to hell.
Also, I cannot stand too much of sweet things. Frankly, I just cannot. I hate things that are oversweeted. And honey, holy shit, it's so sweet.
Oh my god! Imagine having to just eat that shit. No, look, dude, I'm not joking. There is a like what they call a khutbah, a sermon of a mullah one time, and I've got to find it again. He was talking about the different things in heaven, like the different things in Jannah. Like he says, there is a tree which will have fruits, which will be the most amazing fruits that you've ever eaten in your life. It would be a fruit that is like no other on earth, and it has the flavors of all fruits, and it's just the most amazing fruit. And then there's ice cream. Like the ice cream in heaven or in Jannah is the most amazing ice cream you would have ever. I'm not joking. This man sat and started telling people about it. This ice cream will taste the most amazing ice cream. Like, how the fuck do you know that there's even ice cream? There's no indicator of ice cream.
Oh, Banksy, I have a story for you. Similar stories about ice cream. I have to tell you that. That's the point. How the fuck you will know how the ice cream will taste? I mean, many Russians have a favorable memory of the ice cream from the Soviet Union from those times. That was the most tasty and delicious ice cream ever in the world. But you know what's the problem? They haven't got any comparison with any other ice cream from any other country. So
exactly.
Why should I even take that as a credible thing?
Well, exactly. They can't even have another ice cream to compare. Like, how do you know it's the most amazing ice cream? How do you know we don't already have the most amazing ice cream here now? Because there's like ice cream places. There's a place in I mean, I saw it in Dubai, but it's a Canadian ice cream shop called Cold Stone. And you order like the different flavors that you want. So you say, I want a bit of this one, and then they take a scoop of each, and then they mix it for you, and they totally like mix these flavors, and then they put it in a tub. They put some of these sprinkles and stuff on it. Oh my god, it is amazing. It is amazing. It's so tasty, and it's like the blending. It's the way it's all blended. It's not like there's a different scoop of there's a scoop of chocolate and a scoop of vanilla, but they're not separate. They're melded into each other. But then you got like pistachios. They've got like millions of flavors. Dozens of flavors, and it's just the way they do it is just amazing. How do we know that the one in heaven is as good as the one I get from Cold Stone in Canada? But of course, the Muslims would say, well, God knows everything. He knows all the ice cream flavors. So he will absolutely have the most amazing ice cream flavors in heaven for you, because obviously, God can do it all. He just, blinks and flips his fingers, and that's it. You'll have the most amazing. But it's just like, to me, the most ridiculous stories these people tell. I mean, heaven, if you actually think about the way these people talk about heaven, it's a place on earth. They're not talking about an extraordinary location. They're talking about it as if it's another kind of more pleasant version of what Earth is. I mean, especially because of the like in the Quran, especially it talks about green fields. It talks a lot about green fields, rolling green fields. Why? They lived in deserts. They didn't see green fields. Green fields was like a rare treat for them, like when it would rain or something. So to them,
also, by the way, they are also talking about fair-skinned woman there as a description of the paradise. Why? Because there were not very much fair-skinned women in those countries.
In the Middle East, you don't get a lot of fair-skinned women, especially under the kind of heat and sun. So, of course, this is why the Arabs die for blonde women, for Russian women, for European women, because they don't get that over there. Whilst actually the flip side is, if you go to Scandinavian countries, they really like dark features in women and men, because everybody's blonde and fucking tall, so they like a little bit of darker features. So it's because
sexual market is like any other market. Sexual market is like any other market. Demand and supply. If you don't have something in abundance, of course you want to be more desired, and you're going to pay higher prices for that.
Exactly. So that's why these guys, they value this, the opposite of whatever it is that they've got the most of. So if they've got, everybody there is dark skinned and dark haired, they want blondes. Everybody's blonde, they want dark. It's just the way. But it's just, to me, it's like ridiculous, because the heaven that the God of the universe, because you got to realize where this message came down from. We can understand it on a human level, that if Muhammad looks around and all he sees is fucking desert and dark-haired women, he wants fair-skinned women, fair-haired women with rolling green hills, because from his perspective, that's heaven. But the God of the universe is supposed to have told this to Muhammad, not Muhammad. These things, these descriptions of heaven, have supposed to have come from the God of the universe, who has seen all of the earth and where everybody lives. And there are places like Britain and Europe which have got green hills coming out of their assholes. It's so fucking rainy and shitty over here. I want a bit of desert. I want to see some fucking sun. We actually go on holiday to these desert places because we want some sun.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I would like to see how those women look like without those hijabs. I don't care. That's what I think always when I'm seeing them. How do they look like without all that clothing, all that stuff?
Well, I'll tell you this. This is my experience of these hijabis, including the fat little chubby hippo that we know of. Most of them are horrifically ugly underneath all that fucking shit. Oh, sorry, can you hear me?
Okay, one disappointment.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. One time, I was going to work. This was like 10 years ago, and at that time I was going to a place which I had to go through a particular street which is dominated by Muslims. It's like Whitechapel. It's an area called Whitechapel in London, and I had to ride my motorbike through that area every day, twice a day, because it was the route I took to go to central London. And one time I saw this hijabi woman, and I'm not joking, she must have been at least 115 to 120 kilos. And she was wearing a hijab with a burqa, the niqab, all of that shit. But you could see this is a giant fat woman, and waddling her way across the road. And I was looking at her, and I was thinking to myself, does she think that if she suddenly takes off all of that hijab, that the men around her here are just going to go crazy for that fat ass body of hers that's underneath there? Because I could see she was fucking huge. This fat waddling woman, and because the original, the concept of hijab that most of these Muslims constantly tell us about is, if the woman takes off her hijab, men are just going to go crazy, and they're just going to lose their mind because women are just so sexually enticing. And I'm thinking, love, if this fat ass girl walked naked across the fucking road in front of me, my dick has too much pride to even come out and say hello. My dick would
In
be
fact,
ashamed to be aroused by that.
well, in fact, if you start begging for money for that she's begging money for clothes, I think she would made quite an amount of money in
Oh,
the nick of
she
time,
could
because
literally go to
many men
Louis
would like to have.
Vuitton. She could buy
I
everything in
mean,
Louis Vuitton in a month, in a week,
please,
just to get clothes on her.
yes. If the men would be more honest and
Oh,
or more sometimes like
hell.
me, we would be like, probably, okay, love, please take those clothes, put them on. Here's the money. I will pay any money just that you
Just
can
for
put
you to
your
wear
clothes on.
clothes.
Yes.
The more, the better.
So my eyes may not suffer anymore.
Exactly. This is the thing. These concepts, these stupid rules that these idiots sort of make, they think it's it makes sense to them, I guess, at the time. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense to them, but to the rest of us, they're just moronic. To any clear thinking person, for like less than a second, just takes a second to even think about this stupid shit, and you start to realize, oh my god, these people are fucking idiots. They're absolute idiots. None of this actually makes any sense on any level, in any way. But it is what it is. They all they've convinced themselves that this is how it is. What I love, what I sort of revel in every time Muslims talk about their society and their rules to be so much better, is that every time they mention their society, the society will be so much better if we do. Then you look at their societies, and they're selling their daughters to fucking 50-year-old men for a bit of cash because they can't eat, or they're fucking marrying 9-year-olds, or they're chopping people's heads off in the middle of the street, whipping people, cutting off their hands. And you go to them. You guys realize we have news reports. We can see the countries that are Muslim, right? It's not like they're hidden from us. We can see the shitholes that you're all running away from and are begging European countries to enter. Right now, you yourself just said you have all those fucking people at the border with what's it called?
Poland, Belarusian border.
Belarus, exactly. They're begging to come to Europe. These lands of these Kafirs, these dirty beer drinking, pork eating, stripper loving, dirty Kafirs. You're all dying to get here. Why is it that you want to live in the Kafir lands, but you constantly talk about how great your way of life is? Well, if your way of life is so great, where the fuck are you? Why aren't you making it paradise? I would suggest to every Muslim who thinks that Sharia is better than secular law, go to a Muslim country, make it paradise, make us all jealous, and then I will come begging to be a refugee in your country. But until then, you can go fuck off with that bollocks of how much your life would be better if we were all under Islamic law. The only people they convince are ignorant simpletons who don't actually open their eyes and look at the world.
And sexually starved losers to that.
Well, that as well, because they kind of do promise these, especially these ginger converts, these fat ginger converts that convert to Islam. They're always like, oh, if you convert, you'll get yourself a good wife. We find you a good wife, and you can settle. And actually, most of them do. The only one person that I don't know out of the 3 converts that I know of, with Jordan M's little crew, he's got 3 converts. There's a guy called Isa, who's a fat ginger one from Birmingham. Then there's another guy called Ben. Sorry?
I mean, that explains everything.
Oh, yeah, that's like, in a nutshell, exactly. And when I say fat, I mean obese. I'm talking like, 150 plus kilos.
You mean American level?
Yeah, he's American. He's like those fuckers you see at Disneyland, that are on one of those mobility scooters. I'm talking that fat, that kind of fat. So he's one. Then there was Ben, who's actually not fat, but generally those 2 got married immediately. The only one that hasn't been married yet, that hasn't got married, is Jordan M. And that's not because, it's because he has too many offers. He's got too much choice. And I'll be honest with you, who knows? Maybe he could be gay, he could be closeted. Who knows? I'm not speculating on that one. But
also, Banksy, isn't that not a sin or not anything wrong in having intercourses with non-Muslim women? I hear that it doesn't count as sleeping around in Islamic law. Is it true?
No, it does count. They're delusional if they think they've got
Okay.
certain sects have. I mean, well, no, it's not certain sects. It's just that they do have this concept of muta, which the Shiites practice more than the Sunnis. The Sunnis are saying, we shouldn't practice it anymore. But the Shiites say, well, the actual followers, the companions of Muhammad, Abu Bakr, Omar, all those guys, they practiced it when they went out on war. When they went out on their war campaigns, they had they had captives, war captives, which in the Quran it says, if you take a woman as a captive, she's your right hand possesses. You can do whatever you want with her. She's yours, basically. So they had sex with women that they weren't married to, but that was because they were their slaves, their war booty. So the Shiites say no. The caliphs and the companions of Muhammad, they practice muta, they practice all of this shit. You Sunnis are talking shit. We're going to carry on doing it, and so they basically are.
Anyway, seeing Jordan M, when I have seen him for the first time, I was like, in no way this guy could restrain or have so much power to have sexual abstinence. This too much offers. He would have too much offers. Sorry I don't believe that he could just restrain himself that much. And if he does, holy shit, let me know his secret.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, generally, he is. It is what it is with Jordan. As I say, he's a very sort of, I don't know, unusual individual, shall we say? Is the best thing I can put. He's I don't know. He's got weird.
But it's really scary of him that a guy born and bred in Britain in a first world Western
Yes.
country can defend those kind of practices and can defend especially the assaults and attacks on Hatun, physical assaults and attacks.
Yeah.
He's trying to excuse that shit.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
All the time. All the time. He excused all of the degenerative and extremely distasteful acts that Muslims have done, and the things that they've done that has now. You see, the thing is, the Muslims in Hyde Park, not just by attacking Hatun, but they have also intimidated other people who are no longer coming to Speaker's Corner. This is the thing. A lot of people think the Muslims, they only see, the stuff the Muslims do to Hatun and other non-Muslims, but they don't realize that there's a whole plethora of other things that Muslims do behind or behaviors. Their behaviors have affected other people who no longer come to the park, or when they do, they go elsewhere in the park. Like, I'll give you an example. There's a lady called Posey Parker. I don't know if you know of her. She's an advocate for women's. She's a trans exclusionary feminist. So she doesn't believe trans people are women, and she doesn't consider them as real women. And so she protests against these trans women coming into women's spaces, effectively. So trans women going into women's changing rooms, women's toilets, etc., etc. She doesn't like it, and so she protests against it. Now she decided she's going to come to Hyde Park once a month. So one Sunday out of every month, she'll come to Hyde Park, and she'll have her feminist friends, and they'll have a little hoopla, and make speeches and record them and put them on her YouTube channel. Well, the first time she came, I don't know if it was the first time or the second time, she got attacked by these trans activists, or these Black Lives Matter activists, actually, and her poster was ripped out and everything. She had this little poster thing she brought. They totally destroyed it. Then she got, I think, intimidated by a bunch of Muslims as well, because obviously she's not particularly religious, and she certainly isn't going to allow, because she's a staunch feminist, she considers Islam to be completely against her ideology. And eventually, out of the number of intimidation and kind of attacks and the attacks on Hatun, she decided she's not going to have her feminist friends come to Speaker's Corner anymore. They still come to Hyde Park on a Sunday, one Sunday every month, but they go to this place called, what was it, Freedom Tree or something tree. They picked out a tree in others, in another part of Hyde Park, and they gather there now. They don't come to that main area where the speakers are and all the like Muslims and the Christians are. They don't go there anymore. They go to this other section because they're worried about being attacked. They're genuinely worried about being attacked. So these Muslims and these people who behave like this have now kind of, their behavior extends beyond the person that they're attacking. Their behavior actually is influencing and affecting other people. So when you don't see certain people come to Speaker's Corner anymore, it's because of the threats of violence. Like, for example, Sarah Garvey. Sarah Garvey got an Osman warning to not come to Speaker's Corner anymore. So he doesn't come to Speaker's Corner anymore. So that was one person that was a great debater, a great advocate for secular and atheist kind of ideas, or pantheistic ideas. He's kind of a pantheist. But someone who challenged Islam doesn't come to Speaker's Corner anymore because he's not only afraid of he's going to get stabbed, he's actually afraid that in a confrontation will occur and he will beat the shit out of someone and his life will be ruined. Because in this country, the problem is, if someone comes and attacks you, even if they attack you and you pummel the shit out of them, this country's laws are so bad when it comes to self-defense that you might still go to prison. Because there is very limited amount of things you can actually do in self-defense. I mean, you literally have to allow someone to practically kill you before you can actually do something. It's nonsense. Even if a guy punches me in the face and I punch him back and he falls and hits his head and dies, I'll still go to jail. Even though he punched me, I punched him. One punch each.
Okay, Banksy, then I have to tell you one thing. Poland is just as bad, but we have the Stalinist heritage, and those laws haven't changed because of that. And, it's a recovering country. But how the hell did they have been introduced and allowed to, and not to mention approve by your parliament, by the decision makers in your country? I'm pummeled by it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because let's face it, I'll be not acting superior. Poland has almost, if not just as bad laws about self-defense. Frankly, it also depends whether you're doing the self-defense. I mean, if you're doing around your house, then it'll be going to be more on your side. But if you're doing somewhere else, it could be 50-50, in the court, you and the attacker. But if you would be doing it around his house, what can happen.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's not the problem. Isn't if I'm attacked and then both me and the attacker have to go to court and it's like whose word you're gonna take kind of thing. That's not the problem. Most of us can at least handle that when it comes to like going to court and trying to plea your self-defense case against someone who's still alive. It's okay. You can try to do that. It's because in a violent confrontation, you don't know what's going to happen. And if somebody gets killed in that event, if someone falls, even if you don't hit them and it's just a violent confrontation and they trip and hit their head and die, you're still in the shit. One of my brother's friends, decades ago, this is a long time ago now, he was in a fight at a bar, in a pub. A fight broke out and he was involved in that fight. The manager of the pub came to break up the fight and he was an old man. He got a heart attack and he died. My brother's friend was sentenced to 3 or 4 years in jail for manslaughter because that man had a heart attack whilst they were having a fight in the pub.
Well, it can happen in Poland too, to be honest.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
It can happen in Poland too.
Exactly.
Those kind of shitty nonsense kind of court trials and sentences. But but really, I am very interested from where it originated that it was allowed to happen in Britain. It means also your self-defense laws that are so similar to ours. This is the thing that really blows me away, because Banksy, you know, we had communism, we had Soviet domination, we had Stalinist rules that haven't been taken out or just taken away to this day. But why should they? Of course, the government will keep them. Communist and non-communist government, because you know government loves power, especially extensive power over citizens.
Yes, yeah, but that's how they introduced it. They snuck it in. They slowly did it. So now, literally, the government has all the power over a citizen, and you literally don't have.
In other words, it was a crawling totalitarianism. In other words, the method of crawling totalitarianism.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could. Yeah, that's it.
Or just easy, or just slowly but steadily cooking the frog in a
in the pan. Yeah, boiling the frog in the boiling pan, and that's how they got it. That's how they did all of these things. Now, the funny thing is, they're trying to do the same in America, but in America, when, like, for example, now this lad Carl Rittenhouse, justifiably was acquitted of all the charges because he literally was defending himself, and all these liberals are complaining why he got off on self-defense when it was self-defense. So what the liberals in America want to do is to turn America, which is the last bastion of real freedom, into Europe, into all these other cuckolded countries like Canada and Europe and all the others. That's what they want. This is like the only country now left which has any real freedoms of any sort.
Sure, that's why it's really hard not to think of them in an analogical way to their. I mean, you really have to have thoughts that they have really very ancestral communist traditions, wanting to force down the throats of people, especially there, because this is the last bastion.
Exactly.
I mean,
but what I wanted to say in regards to all of this is that when it comes to the self-defense issues that we have, and because of the laws that we have in this country, a lot of the people, going back to the Speaker's Corner people, a lot of the people like Sarah Garvey and Callum, who were given warnings that if someone is, the police suspect someone wants to kill them, is that he says, if I come to the park, it's not that I might get stabbed or might not get stabbed. It's the fact that if someone's trying to kill me, I'm going to kill them. I'm not just going to beat them up. I'm going to kill them. And that will then ruin my life. And so for that reason, it's better, because he's got a wife, he's got children, he's got responsibilities. He's like, I can't put my family in that position because I want to go and debate a bunch of idiots at Speaker's Corner. So the Muslims effectively are committing a form of censorship upon that place because of this sort of thing. This is coercion and intimidation to keep people from coming to that place. So that place is slowly reduced down to the very few who are still able, who are still, I guess, brave enough to go, like Hatun and the Christians. And the Muslims, it's literally riddled it down to that. You hardly ever get any real atheist debates there anymore. You hardly get any political debates anymore, especially after the lockdown. It's 99% Muslims, Christians versus Muslims. The Christians get intimidated out of, crazy. I mean, you could watch the one today where Hatun is hounded, like absolutely in her face. The guy's just yelling in her face. That's not a debate anymore. He's just yelling terrorists in her face. He's not even like actually having a conversation. He's just, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist. Like, dude, the police don't even fucking come and interfere. That's what I'm amazed, because the place is meant to be a place for debate. Not you just run over to someone and say, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist. That's harassment now. But the police don't seem to do anything about it. The police don't seem to actually acknowledge the fact that when someone's no longer actually communicating, they're not in a conversation. This is not a conversation anymore. It's just someone yelling at someone else that they're a terrorist, and the other person is just standing there. That's not a conversation. You can't allow people to just do that. If the person is there actually challenging, actually communicating with Hatun and going points per point, then fine. But if they're not, if they're just yelling at her, I think really Hatun should be the one who should at that point walk to the police and say, "Could you please make sure this person is away from me? Because he's not actually talking to me anymore. He's just yelling into my face." But unfortunately, Hatun doesn't do it, because I know why Hatun doesn't do it. I think to some extent I can appreciate that's clickbait for her. You know what I mean? That kind of exposes the really ugly side of Muslims, and in extent to the extension Islam. And I can kind of appreciate what she's doing, because I would jump all over that as well. I point out Walla Walla and Zubaydah as spokespeople for Islam all the time, even though most Muslims would fucking deny the shit out of them. They would deny they're even Muslim.
Anyway, I also would like to throw another one I've seen recently. This guy, and I must admit, this guy was very entertaining. Uncle Omar. You probably know.
There you go. There you go. There's another one. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, this guy is the only one that I would let probably insult me all the way he wants to, because it is too funny not to participate in this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is the thing. That guy, again, is another one where you don't even have to do much. You just sort of start a conversation, but then just let him run his mouth. And he kind of refutes Islam by their mere mannerisms. You know what I mean?
Yes, I see.
To me, that's the main thing with these, for me, is to point out how these people are.
I mean, Muslims. Many Muslims in the comment section wanted him to be banned from entering Speaker's Corner.
Yeah, because he's killing it. He's like the worst possible representation for Islam. And that's why, yeah, they do. The Muslims, to be honest with you, Muslims, this is why when you see these guys who shout at Hatun or whatever, other, like the Dawa Muslims, they don't come over to even separate the Muslims and tell them to go, because they're like, we can't be seen on a camera with these other crazies. Because if we're seen on camera, even if we're trying to tell these guys calm down and, walk away and all that shit, it's still going to associate us with them. And so they don't even want to be on camera with these guys, because they don't want to be associated with them in any way whatsoever. And they know this shit makes Islam look terrible. Every time one of these idiots does that, every time there's a terrorist attack, every time Hatun gets hit, every time one of these things happen, the whole Muslim world gets it in the ass for it, and I can appreciate that. I can appreciate why they don't want to associate.
See, the decline of freedom of expression, I mean, freedom of speech in Britain. Actually, it was quite sufficient when we think about people being banned even from entering the country. It was long ago. I mean, Brittany Pettibone, now Brittany Sellner, she was banned basically because she was a girlfriend of one Austrian nationalist. Just for that, she was banned from entering.
Yeah,
this is draconian to me.
Exactly.
Also,
this is the main thing about Brittany Pettibone. Even more of a better case than Lawrence Southern is that she never has ever done anything controversial in this country. She's never caused any trouble in this country. She's never done anything bad. The only thing she's ever done was to be married and, the girlfriend and then now the wife of Martin Sellner. And even Martin Sellner didn't actually do anything as such in this country. But because of the party he's associated with, then yeah. Sorry, Victoria West, I just saw your message, but then you retracted it. So could you type again, or I don't know. I didn't get the chance to fully read it. You said something, and then it's now gone. So please retype.
Also, I know, because I've read about it, that people that have complained that they were victims of grooming gangs were arrested for even going to the police and saying about those things for quote unquote racism or whatever.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is with Lawrence Southern, I'll give Lawrence Southern at least some sort of leeway because she did at least go to like Luton, set up a table with all sorts of cards and placards or whatever printed saying Allah is gay. So you can at least say, okay, that was definitely an intimidating, or not intimidating, but she was inciting Muslims or trying to rile up the Muslims. Yeah, that's fair enough. I can at least appreciate that what she was doing to be kind of a something to piss off the Muslims. But Brittany Pettibone has never done anything. She is literally the most sort of bland vanilla commentator, conservative commentator out there. The only radical thing about Brittany Pettibone is her fucking husband. She's not I don't see anything about her. I mean, I don't know, maybe she's a secret racist. I don't know, but on a public level, she's never done anything to warrant her being banned from Britain, being banned from fucking Britain. That's a hell of an excessive level of shit. But because these politicians that we have are pussies, politicians that we have are just spineless. So yeah, that's the world in which we're living in.
No, true. And finally, when I go to fix my social media, probably they'll get a lot of artillery fire of insults and other things, because I know that the British politicians want to basically ban people from, at least they're talking about it, from holding any position of power or advancing anywhere near that place. If somebody would be trolling and making fun of them, I'm like, okay, you. I was like really mad when I hear that, because I thought, and they call my country a dictatorship, and there's no such law proposed for that in this country right now in Poland. That if I may have legal trouble if the guy would be very powerful and have the right lawyers, because he can buy more of that stuff in the court, unfortunately. But anyway. That's that is really like being a shit stain out of some Soviet Union depraved asshole. To be honest, yes, they have came straight. They are straight. They have that ideas taken away straight from the past, like the CPSU would do it. I mean. And by the way, the thing with Brittany Pettibone is also such a communist Soviet style thing. She's basically taken by guilt by association. You know how many people have been executed in my own country, in the Soviet Union, whatever, for being just associated, even living as a neighbor. But by the way, to people like that, that's where it's creeping out. That's why it is horrid to me, and that's, I mean. There's no such thing in my own country now. Yes, it's a flawed democracy, because let's face it, it's a country after communism. But when I'm hearing shit like that from Britain, I'm like, oh my god. No, if that will not stop, then I'm sorry. You better. Because I do believe that America will recover, do something and run away from their banks, because you maybe will have trouble from the things you have posted on the net. That we have conversation about.
Yeah. I mean, this is the world now. This is how it is. I mean, I mean, luckily, at the moment, the actual biometrics, or the sort of visual imagery or tracking system, or visual tracking system, is still not implemented. Although it is sophisticated enough, but it hasn't been implemented in Europe in such a manner in which, if I go to another country, they can associate my face with the Banksy channel, for example, because my name isn't Banksy. So, I can still move around relatively separated from my online persona. But there'll come a time where facial recognition systems will be in place everywhere. And so the mere fact that your face has been on a particular YouTube channel or a particular social media with a particular opinion will be linked together. So it doesn't matter whether your name isn't attached to that channel, your face will be recognized by that. So you'll be taught, you'll immediately, be labeled as whatever they decide to label you as. So yeah, I mean that's something that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen soon. I don't see, because they're testing it effectively in China. China is like their guinea pig, their testing ground for all of these things. In China, they've had facial recognition, social what they call them, a social credit system, and so your face is associated with your opinions online. So they'll track your face. If you've created an account and your face has been shown on that account, then they'll link it all together. This is all connected. So unless you have purely channels with over VPNs, without your face ever being shown, even your voice recognition, they'll probably be able to match that. So they'll probably, even if you don't have your face, they'll probably have voice recognition, which will match your voice to your real name, to your social credit system, and they'll track you down. So really, what it might come down to is just a purely text-based society, where any controversial messaging on news or information has to be totally on an anonymous scenario through text-based system only. You can't put your face or your voice to anything, otherwise they'll hunt you down and they'll crush you. So yeah, I can see that happening.
Okay, I know, but there are differences between, of course, Britain and the rest of Europe, and also especially about Britain and for example, my country. Because when I was living for 3 years, I noticed that, I mean, the British people are not very into straightforward, direct communication. I mean, because there is a thing in this country that what the people say and what they really mean.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got from talking with many people. It is a very conflict avoiding culture, sometimes at all costs. What can blow in your face at times, like you have the situation in Speaker's Corner with all those hate speech laws and whatever, because I think that's the root of it. That was I mean,
that
was the pavement for those things to me.
Yeah,
I come from a very straightforward, direct communication of a culture. I mean, we don't care if they would have to take us on to jail for hate speech or whatever controversial speech. Would be the entire country should be one big prison.
Well, this is what I mean. This is what they're kind of doing. I mean, Victoria has put in the text, and I think NPC as well. Yeah, there are facial recognition systems in Britain, and there are facial recognition systems in parts of London. In fact, there's a part where they were trialing it, and they wouldn't allow people to wear caps and hoodies in that area. The police would literally tell people you can't wear a hat or a hoodie in a particular area to cover your face or cover your eyes. And there was like interaction, there was like confrontations between citizens and officials in that part. I forgot it was part of London that they're still trialing it, or they have. So yes, the system exists. The only thing that they're not doing is they're not. I was going to say initially that they're not linking it to your social media activities. I think they're even already linking it to your social media activities. The only thing they're not doing is they're not punishing you for your social media activities based on your facial recognition. I think that's really what it is. I think they know exactly who everyone is. Anyone who's shown their face certainly is, and possibly even anyone who's even talked over the voice without their face being shown. I think they've matched your voice to your face and your face to all your social media activities. I think they have. I think they absolutely can. If they haven't, they can 100% do it. But they're not punishing you for it at the moment. That's the only thing that they're not doing, because I think what they're doing, based on European and Western sort of common laws and laws that they have in place, would be highly illegal. So they can't even admit to the fact that they're doing it, which I'm sure they are. I'm sure the NSA is in America as well. They just can't say it, because if they say it, they'll be breaking like 1,000 laws. So they're basically buying their time to wait for the laws to change, or the politicians to come in play and convince the people to change these laws to allow them to then publicly come out and say, yes, we are now doing this because it's legal now. But they've been doing it all along. But now they're going to punish you for it. I'm literally waiting for the day where they're going to start punishing you for your social media activities, not your not that they don't have the technology. I think they absolutely have the technology now. If Alexa can fucking find your music and recognize your voice to search for a music, then I'm pretty sure the government can search your voice and match it to your face and to your name, and that face and name match to any public social media activity that has that face attached to it.
To be to be honest, then at least I am here saving this country, because we don't have Alexas there, and the people would be very hesitant to.
Yeah. I told everyone.
From the government.
Yeah, I told everyone in my family not to ever get an Alexa, not to get a Google Home or Apple Home. Don't get any of these listening devices. These are literally bugs. You're bugging your own home for the government. They are bugs for the government. These are not devices, quote unquote, sold to you for conveniences. They are bugs for the government. Don't put one in you're bugging your own home if you're buying one of these products. But people are buying them. My brother has one. My brother fucking has one. I don't discuss things in too many detailed stuff in his living room anymore, because he has a fucking Alexa in there. I'm like, dude, unless you unplug that fucking thing, I'm not talking. I'm not discussing, intimate stuff.
The British people basically have installed in their own houses spying devices.
Yes.
That. Oh my fucking.
Yes. Effectively, not just British, all the Europeans, all the Americans, anyone who's bought an Alexa or a Google Home, any of these so-called smart speakers, they've installed. This is the other thing. Check this shit out. They are not just getting you to buy the device anymore. They are like, those Bluetooth speakers that you can buy for your phone, like JBL or all these other different types of Bluetooth speakers. Well, they are now incorporating Google Home or Apple Home or Alexa in those devices now. There are devices that you buy that have, like speakers, that have the actual spy effectively built into it. So you're not just, you're not just going to go out and buy an Alexa or a Google Home separate to your speakers. If you go and buy a speaker and you don't realize that shit is built into it.
Oh, and that's and frankly, and that's why even now, seeing the evolution of those things, I am buying a few SIM cards, for a few other telephone numbers, especially for the social media here. I mean,
yeah.
I would talk. I could talk hours about that, because the most things I am learning about studying now is how to get so savvy through the net that to make those for those spies their lives hard with me as much as possible.
Exactly.
I don't care. I don't care if they have my face or not. But what they're going to do? There is also something like an outdating of a crime, and they cannot at least now sentence me for a crime that I have committed a year ago. I mean, a thought crime, as we could call it, or something that I've said via internet, especially not in the borders of their own country. I know that in Britain you can get arrested for tweets. I mean, many of my tweets they take away my Twitter anyway. It could send me to jail there. I was like, okay.
But the messed up thing is, what's it called? Victoria has put, well, first of all, NCP has said, yeah, your Android phone is spying on you. Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you don't have an Alexa, you have an Android phone or an Apple phone, they're listening in all the time. This so-called Siri and Google Assist, that's just a fucking cover for the fact that they have a listening device effectively on your phone. Excuse me, and Victoria said, "Oh well, let's hope this. I hope it stops knife crime, murder, rape." I hope you're being facetious. I think you are being facetious because we know that it doesn't stop any of that. It's not for any of that shit. That's all bollocks. It's not to stop crimes. It's to monitor your behavior and your political leanings. It's not about stopping murder and rape. They don't give a shit about those things. In fact, they're kind of grateful for a lot of this shit because the world is overpopulated anyway. They need to step it up to actually reduce some of the numbers. The world is currently suffering from way too many humans. So no, they're not there to stop murders and rape. You'll still be murdered. You'll still be raped. There's that particular avenue is widely open. Hey, we have Agent Smith, which I don't know who that is, but I think it might be Ned. Sorry guys, let me bring on Agent Smith. Hello, Agent Smith.
Wassalamu alaikum.
Oh, it's it's Ralph. Ralph, the man.
You said murder and rape, and here I am.
Yes.
Let me change my name to Agent Smith and Johnny. That makes it better. There you go. That's not bad. Flying through.
Yeah. We're just chatting about a few things. Well, I mean, I needed to make a stream to put in a little bit of a correction for a video that for some of the comments I made about a CNN report. I don't know if you ever saw that CNN report about an Afghani man selling his 9-year-old daughter to a 55-year-old man.
I think I might have seen a bit of it or something.
All right. Yeah.
Were they wrong or did they just
well?
Set it up,
According to another site, which our mutual friend Afghan sent me, he's still around. He's just not public anymore. He doesn't need any more shit. But he's still is listening in on the different things, and he heard me talk about the CNN report, and he actually messaged me, said, look, this was proven to be but not a hoax, but a kind of a fake setup, where they told the two men, in fact, are uncle and nephew. They're not like some random guy and his nephew. Now, by the way, this is according to another site, which I quoted in the report today. Rashmana. Sorry.
Get all this. Most of their stories. Most of the big media will prop up a story. They'll get the people set up and stage. The MSN, the main MSN media, the CNN, NBC. Most of that stuff is not real.
Well, this is the thing. This site called Rukshana Media has gone and started to talk and interview the father, the neighbors, etc., and they've found that this wasn't a sale of any sort, at least according to them. But the problem is now we're in a situation. Who do you believe? Because I haven't called up any of these people. I haven't spoken to the father. But according to Rukshana Media's, the guys and the uncle of the father, and the uncle was lending, in total about $3,800 to the father, because the father is an opium addict and they've got no money and they're literally starving, and he's got like 6-7 daughters. So the uncle took the daughter, this particular one, Parvana, as like collateral. Now, to be honest with you, that to me is a bit dodgy in itself, but apparently he took her as collateral until the father pays him back the money.
Oh, it just sounds all so sordid, man. It just sounds
that doesn't is that daughters. Yeah, I mean, when if I come round and lend, imagine you go and take out a mortgage at your local Barclays or Lloyd's, and then they go, well, yeah, you're gonna have to give us your firstborn because this is a 30-year mortgage. If you want us to give you
where do I sign fuck off?
The down payment is your firstborn daughter. Like, that's a bit unusual, this one.
Were you the speakers? I saw you at another stream. Were you the speakers?
I wasn't today. I was at on Saturday. I was at the farmers' protest in London. Recorded.
The Sikh one.
Yes, the Sikh farmers' protest. There was about 12 people. It wasn't a very popular protest. I'll be honest with you.
Was our good friend Raj there?
No. That's the funny thing. We asked him actually does he want to come or do something? He kind of didn't even answer us, because me and Manny Sinda are now working with this site. This guy's called Speakers Corner Online, and they hired us as well. I'm a cameraman and he's the presenter, so we've been working together now.
My feed just got lots of these Manny Cinder looking things. I was like, what the fuck's he doing? And I was like, he's got a cameraman. And I thought, who's the camera dude?
Of course, my years of experience in the cameraman world has provided me.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to let it slide this time. But
oh, it's never gonna slide. It's never gonna slide. That's never going away. But yeah.
Russian brand, I forget how you do.
Oh yeah, MC
666. ADHD.
But yeah. So
what was that like? Is the protest movement fizzing out a bit, or
the farmers one? Well, yeah. I mean, it was so cold and it was raining, and only a handful showed up. To be honest with you, me and Manny eventually we recorded like 3 hours worth of live stream. Half of it was nothing. I was just recording the Waldorf, the hotel. That's all I was recording the most of the time.
You went to the bar basically,
yeah. Exactly. Literally, we did the first half of the protest, and then they were supposed to take a break and then come back. And me and Manny were like, "Yeah, fuck this. We're gonna go to a bar."
Why is Manny trying to do a Speakers Corner Online? Is that his kind of new interest?
Well, no, they asked. The thing is, Speakers Corner Online put out some tenders or put out some adverts for people who want to work with them in some capacity. Actually, Manny approached me because they approached Manny. And they said, "Do you want to do some stuff with us?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll work with you guys." And then Manny approached me, said, "You want to do some camera work because we're going to go out and do some interviews." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I do this stupid shit anyway. I might as well get paid for it. I might get a few quid for the."
I get a couple of quid.
Yeah.
Online.
Oh, sorry. So
you, just one question about Speakers Corner Online. Can you? I mean. Can you talk with those people? Do you have to live in Britain or attain Speakers Corner offline first or whatever? You get me where I'm going with that?
I don't understand. You mean you want to work with them? Or you went in the country?
Maybe not working with them because I know that I cannot travel anywhere for now, so it would be impossible anyway.
Well, but if you produce some content over at your end, because they're doing several things. I'll tell you this, because they're not just a YouTube channel. We're not trying to be YouTubers here. We're actually promoting a whole platform like Facebook. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get enough people on there so that when the content creators start to produce good content and they get enough sort of people to view the site, then they start, and hopefully those content creators, they've got a whole payment system. If your fans give you money, they'll give you 90% of the money that your fans give you. Unlike Google, that gives you only 30%. So they're trying to actually give a lot more. I mean, at the moment they say between 80 and 90. I think they don't have they don't know exactly their administrative costs.
The videos don't see that many views, right? So I don't think they have the
views yet. Yeah, this is the thing. Our on the YouTube side, we're trying to promote it because we just literally started that. So that's very small, and we're trying to basically convert people from YouTube to Speakers Corner Online, because half the stuff that I put about Zubaydah, I can't put it on YouTube anymore. So I have to put it either on Odyssey or on Speakers Corner, because that's the only places that will allow me. Otherwise, YouTube will strike me.
In other words, Speakers Corner is like another alternative platform that you're
exactly.
To live there.
Exactly, it's just another place where I put my content.
And everybody is welcome, basically, especially edgy and politically incorrect people.
Exactly.
That don't have the headache with that nonsense.
Exactly, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to encourage it as another platform.
Your favorite Ku Klux Klan lynching videos, that kind of stuff.
I'm not entirely sure because I'll be honest with you. I tested them a little bit. I put some videos with women, kind of topless women. Basically, it wasn't like they were naked and they weren't having sex with anyone, so it wasn't porn. But it was topless. It was a bit edgy. They didn't like that. They told me to take it off. But because they just didn't want to have just the place to be, riddled with
murder,
porn, murder, rape is. I think they're trying to stay a little bit on the straight and narrow.
So did you not bang your fist in the desk, going, "Hang on a second, so I can't put my stuff films here."
Exactly.
Right?
How am I supposed to put all those Bukkake movies? Where am I supposed to put all them?
my cure for insomnia collection.
all those Manjango videos that I've been collecting for years.
Oh, so in other words, if I want to, I can be some version of Al Bundy online on that platform. Good.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Politically incorrect stuff is fine. I mean, Manny is inundated with anti-vaccination shit. All of his stuff, because, Manny, he got a strike for a video that he had deleted off YouTube. He deleted.
Doesn't stop a strike.
Exactly. So he realized he's almost powerless to. He can't literally put hardly anything onto YouTube.
But the anti-vaccine, how's that going? Currently, the UK is at 92% vaccinated, right? So in Berlin and Germany now, from next week, they're just stepping it up. That means you can't even enter almost anything without being vaccinated.
Wow.
So how the rebels are holding out before. Eventually, I think they're going to send out people with dart guns, right?
Yeah.
That zombie's not vaccinated. No consent. It's a single dart.
It'll be like that movie, White Hunter, Black Heart. They're just on these cruisers with fucking sniper rifles, just taking people out.
Just a normal dart gun would do, right?
Yeah.
But instead of sharp ammunition, there will be vaccines shooted out from them.
That's what I mean. They'll have these basically like rifles with dart guns in the vaccine darts, and they're just people are just running and they're just gunning them down. They're just in the ass.
They don't have to run, especially if they all show up in the same place for protest. You can then just reappropriate the water cannon.
Exactly. Yeah, they could probably. Well, if they could develop a form of vaccine or some sort of a pill or something, that liquid form that could be airborne, so they could just shower the people with it and they'll just get vaccinated by the mere fact that they'll inhale it. Then yeah, I guess that would do it, really.
We've all seen the zombie films, right? When you get to 95% vaccination, you look around, you go, only 5% of the population are carriers, right? The zombies.
Yes.
You go, let's just do this, boys, right? It's like the purge, right? One night, just find all the unvaccinated, hold them down.
That's it.
Just a little prick.
Well, I will say the anti-vax protest that we went to, not this Saturday, but the Saturday before, last Saturday, there was a lot of people there. A lot of people. It wasn't just.
I mean, it's crazy because they don't understand epidemiologically all the ones who are not vaccinated, because people don't seem to understand basic science, right? The thing is going to keep mutating. It's going to have a generational time and it's going to mutate generational time. You guys are running around mutating it, giving each other big hugs and kisses, shagging, going to the pub, and then everyone else is carrying the new strain. So I think let them all protest in one place. And just, alhamdulillah, do what's
just all at once. The thing is, something NPC said as well, like put it in the water. If they develop something that can be just digested like that, I think they will. I think they'll just like in America, how they put fluoride in the water to keep the people's teeth from fucking rotting out. They might just do that in Britain. They just put it in the water.
I think most of the people are gonna, except for.
So this is the explanation of the whiteness of the American teeth.
It is. They put fluoride in the water, and that's why the Americans have so much better teeth than the Brits. There's something about that,
But literally, when they get to about 95, 96%, right? The question then becomes, of the lost people in the protest movement, who's going to care so much that they'll lose their job? Right, because employment is coming next, right? They're going to say you can't enter the office or work for someone if you're not vaccinated.
Oh, by the way, I heard that there is lack of workers in Britain in certain places now. I mean, for example, transport.
Oh, the lorry driver thing.
Yes.
yeah. There was, but the thing is, there's a mixed bag. People have either have had COVID and they couldn't go to work because of the quarantine thing, or this track and trace thing has false flagged them, so they had to quarantine. There's been a whole, multiple different things, and the Brexit thing has also, created a shortage in that industry. But the thing is, the shortage in the haulage industry is a very long term thing. It was pointed out because I saw this interview by a guy who is in the haulage industry. He pointed out to Anna Soubry and another conservative minister in 2015 that there is a problem here and we have to solve this, otherwise it's going to create a shortage and we're going to have a lot of issues. And they ignored it. They laughed it off. They literally laughed off this guy's complaints, or this guy's approach. And then the other, a few months back when we had the petrol crisis or whatever the hell it was, Anna Soubry was on fucking TV laughing at this man who told her about it in 2015 and then blaming Brexit for it. And the guy said, I told you in 2015.
My least favorite politicians.
Oh, God, she's awful. She's awful on so many levels. But she was blaming, on that same show, she was blaming Brexit for the petrol issue. And the guy was like, I was talking to you about this in 2015. Nothing to do with Brexit.
They don't care, though, do they, mate? They don't care because as long as they get re-elected, that's all they care about.
I know.
They don't care what they said, what they promised.
Such complete ignorant assholes, some of these politicians, and
I was taking a break from streaming. My last week has been streaming of Nazis versus the Jews, which has been pretty good. Right? So I thought I'd come to something calmer now.
No, dude, that was good. There was some.
Mentioned that. Thank you, Ralph, that you have mentioned that, because I'm really awaiting one day when Joseph will come here to the Banksy's channel, so I can ask him a few.
Oh, Joseph has been. Joseph has been a couple of times. Joseph, the Israeli advocacy, you mean?
Yes, that Joseph.
Yeah. I can ask him if he wants. I can set up something. Because no, he's a nice guy. He's really.
Anyway, speaking about setting up some things, Banksy, how about maybe one time a stream about the things going on, on the Polish-Belarusian border, in the region in general, because I know probably it's a smokescreen made by Russia to have a much more free go with Ukraine, because they are gathering troops on the Ukrainian border from every side.
Yeah, sure, dude. I don't mind. I mean, to be perfectly,
it's kicking off in the east for sure. Absolutely, Belarus, Poland, right? It's strange stuff's going on. I think the Russians are going to show some muscle soon. My guess.
That's going to be.
They probably will invade Ukraine. I mean, they will take a chunk of their land. I'm sure about it. Especially that they have one justification, unfortunately, why Ukraine.
But everybody invades Ukraine, man. It's not a big.
Poor guys.
But
they're like on a fork line of being invaded.
Speaking of invasion of Ukraine, I would never want to be an occupying force in that country, because the things that they can do to you, the Ukrainians, in retaliation, would make a good Halloween story, to be honest. And the worst thing is it really happened. Read one day about Volhynia massacre in 1933, how the Ukrainians basically repaid us for trying to Polonize those lands. It was our fault, but
I know that they're quite barbaric. Look at young Pavlov, our favorite Ukrainian freedom fighter.
Yeah, poor guy. Actually, someone said there is fluoride in Yorkshire water, or at least they introduced it in Britain. So there are fluoride in our waters, apparently. Although I don't know if that's.
This is the only thing why I regret not being born in the United States, because at least I would drink that fluoride with the water.
That great teeth.
And my teeth wouldn't be looking like shit.
Yeah, it's all right. There's always braces and other stuff that we can work on.
You know how much money I have to lay down for repairing my teeth that have been destroyed by the Polish
if you work for
NHS.
Speakers Gone Online. You too could have good-looking people.
There you go. There you go. Start a channel, start uploading, and you'll be awarded richly. The thing is, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I've become so disillusioned with the regular like YouTube and Twitter and all this stuff that I'm actively looking at other alternatives. I've started TikTok. Now TikTok still has some good organic growth.
Okay,
I managed to
to
grow
all
really
of
well.
us, okay, I have bad news for all of us here, and I mean to all of us not very attractive men here. TikTok usually prefers attractive people on its side. Sorry to say that. Yes, it is a thing. It's a rule.
What?
Hey, speak for yourself, man.
To you have to be good. No. The thing is, I started multiple TikTok channels. One is I've got the Banksy one on there now, and I've uploaded a bunch of videos. But that's just a throwaway. But I actually have a secret one which I can't tell anyone, and I've uploaded videos on there, and that one just blew up. And it's surprising, and it's on a steady growth every day. I check, and there's just more and more followers. I went in 4 weeks. I went from 2 followers to 1,300 in 4 weeks.
Wow.
In 4 weeks, I know it was unbelievable. That's why I was shocked. And to be honest with you, I uploaded a bunch of. Now, admittedly, these are just comedy videos, and I never put my face on there. I put nothing on there about me. It's just comedy videos and stuff. And I totally forgot about it for a couple of weeks. Then I suddenly looked, and I was like 600-700 followers in, and then within it must have been at least 4 weeks. I'm now at 1,300, coming up to 1,400. That's 1,400. And yeah, I was just amazed. I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" And I barely did anything.
What is that? Is that one a comedy thing, like skits or something? Or
yeah, just comedy clips, comedy skits, comedy stand up.
I don't really watch TikTok for that. But the only TikTok video I've got stashed away is the one that has me in stitches, the one you posted on the IKEA worker.
Oh yeah. That guy is brilliant. That guy is brilliant. But that went viral. But yeah, I mean those sort of things. As I said, all you need is like one good video. And then, because TikTok still has a relatively organic method of giving your videos to people or putting them in front of people. Now, admittedly, their rules are really strict. Like, we posted the anti-vaxxer protest that we did on the Speaker's Corner Online TikTok channel, and most of those videos have either been muted or taken off for violating their rules. Yeah. So they don't mess about. They have very strict stuff, and you can't swear or this is very you're working fine lines. I know they've got those sort of things, but it has some potential for organic growth. Speaker's Corner is still completely organic. It's just whoever comes on there and whoever puts up a video. Everybody can see it, so there's no restrictions at the moment. But of course, I'm not.
Gonna be famous.
Yeah, well, I'm not holding my breath, but I'm not planning to. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I just think to myself, I missed out on so many first time things.
Waves, right? You missed so many waves.
Well, yeah, there was like the Bitcoin. I am still gutted to my core of the Bitcoin phase. I was there right at the beginning of it, and I fucking didn't even.
Not as annoyed as I have. Somewhere I have an old laptop. I have no idea where the hell it is somewhere, and I think it has 12 Bitcoins.
Holy shit, dude! That's even worse. That's even worse.
I know it's just dumped somewhere as a binary.
It's 40,000. No, it was 40. I think nearly 50,000 pounds each.
There's a fair amount of cash sitting somewhere.
Holy shit! That's messed up. But this is what I mean. I got screwed on that. I got screwed on the YouTube thing because I was on YouTube in 2010. I made videos on a whole other channel nobody knows, but. I made videos in 2010 and I never kept up with it because I just like, fuck this is bullshit. And now look at YouTube. Same with all even the TikTok thing. I missed the boat on that too. TikTok is, my friends told me about TikTok years ago, and now it's massive. So I was thinking to myself, okay, I got one shot at this shit, see if this works, but it doesn't matter even if it doesn't, because I still make these contents anyway. So I'm just putting the content that I normally would make on there as well as other places.
15 or 20 years from now, Banksy will still have the original Walla Walla collection.
Yes. and also Odyssey. Odyssey is another place that is potential.
Odyssey is going to take over actually until blockchain or something.
Yes. So
someone does something on YouTube. Right?
Exactly.
But I thought about that. You know how you could make money then? You could take your, I don't know how to put it politely, your aficionado collections of personalities, and you can make them non-fungible tokens.
Oh, right? Dude! Oh, you spoke my mind. I'm thinking there's
the Banksy
NFTs, man. The Banksy NFTs. I'm actually thinking, that might be a thing. Make a whole bunch of the Banksy, this little avatar thing that I've got.
One of those NFTs to go lucky, right? Just one NFT to go lucky, right?
Well, the thing is, you can make like a collection of the Banksy NFTs where they're all the Banksy avatar with all the different faces and different hats and different characteristics. And you can, because I've been looking at NFTs, and you can generate like 10,000 NFTs, and there's all the scripts and everything for it is online. You can just get, all you need is your imagery in all the, like you create it with the different templates on Photoshop. So you've got your main character, and then you've got hats and faces and glasses and whatever else characteristics, and then the code will just generate 10,000 unique NFTs for you based on the sequence, the different sequences of hats and faces and eyes and whatever you can put on there, and so bam, you create a package. NFT package like that, and you stick it out on the Ethereum, whatever the hell. I mean, I went through the whole. There's loads of instructions, but the thing is, do you think NFTs? I think NFTs are a bubble that's going to burst soon.
They are digital crypto tulips.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because there's no intrinsic value.
Exactly. So
I was just trying to send you down a wild goose chase, right?
No, but I've been looking at it. I've been seriously looking at them because I think they're a fad right now, and there might be some quick money in it. I mean, I saw an article in the BBC. A 13 or 12-year-old kid made £290,000 out of these little NFTs he created.
This US woman took 400 million.
Holy crap! Who?
But again, Banksy, there's the usual story of having missed the NFT wave, right?
Exactly.
2 years ago, I would have told you about NFTs, you'd be like, what the fuck are you on about? It's like the cathedral or something.
Exactly. The thing is, if you create NFTs that do have some intrinsic value, they will still, stick around.
I think so. I think once it most of it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
So Veli's moved his channel to NFTs and cryptos.
I know. Because
when real and Veli are both in cryptos, it's like over, right?
Oh damn! Oh, that's harsh. That's some shots you threw some shots there. But
I was it was a choice between Banksy style just now because I was just chilling out of a pretty long busy day. Between that and going and bothering some Muslim philosophers, do I want to go up or do I want to aim low tonight? I just think I'll go low.
Yeah, kiss my low ass.
The Muslim philosophy channels would be highbrow, would be really boring, bro. So I saw Banksy's live. I thought, okay,
there you go. There's some brain dead stuff. It's almost like watching a Marvel movie.
Sometimes you want to be entertained. Sometimes you want information.
There you go. You can just pretty much switch off your entire brain except for the vital organs to be pumping, and you can still watch one of my shows.
Actually, the recent speakers seem like there's a whole new Muslim crowd. The Tommy fan have morphed into Hatun body cards, right? I mean, it's a completely different dynamic, right? And then Steve had to be rescued by a Muslim. Right?
When did Steve have to be rescued?
I think the last time he was there, he was running around. It was dark, and they just kept like ganging up on him, and he was looking increasingly nervous. And then he ran behind Mansour or someone and stood there.
Oh my God!
Said, "Leave him alone, boys. You're safe." Then, of course, all the Muslims made videos called "Muslim saves Islamophobe," right?
Really? Holy shit! I didn't even see that. I totally missed that one. I'm gonna have to Google that shit up. But the thing is, it's because it's number one. It gets dark, and this is why I said to these guys. Yeah, I told the speakers guys actually. I said to them because they wanted me to go and cover Speakers Corner on a regular basis as well. I said, look, first of all, I'm not going there too often because it's shit and boring. Second of all, if I do, I'm only doing it in daylight hours. I'm not gonna hang around there at 6, 7 o'clock at night when the fucking ghouls and goblins all come out. So
they only come out at night usually, right?
exactly. I'm not covering that place in those sort of hours because the place has just become a shit show, and all these hoodlum Muslims, they all come out at night, and they love it because it gets dark at around 5 o'clock now. So they all come out in their hordes.
And when they're going to stab somebody, and they will have a easier time to run away. Nobody will identify
Exactly,
them.
exactly. Nowadays they're all masked up. They're all masked up. They're all covered up. So the place is becoming increasingly. I mean, the police presence is good still because of Hatun. The police are paying a lot more attention and they're around. But I know for a fact that when it come 4, 5 o'clock, they're just they'll start reducing the numbers of the police.
Right, where the shift ends.
Exactly. And then there'll be like a couple of police officers.
No face, no case shows up, right? No face, no case, fam.
Exactly.
Like,
all the famdoms will start trolling the place. And I told them, I said, I'll record from like 12 till about 3, 4 o'clock when it starts to get dark, and then I'm gone. Because
peak daylight and peak security. Yeah.
Exactly, peak daylight, peak security. I'm not risking my ass for this bullshit. But to be honest, we're trying to do. I don't know if you watched the Manny Cinder kind of interviews. We're trying to do more of that because that is a lot more unique, a lot better, and it has a much more professional aspect to it.
The protest movement lost. There's been, again, you missed the boat on that one. That's how Wilsey and stuff went to 50,000, 60,000 subs. If you'd ridden that wave,
that would have been good. I think it's still.
I think that might just die out soon, isn't it? It's gonna, winter's coming. Right?
Well, yeah, for this like until January, February, but I think it'll pick up again in the summertime. So as we get to spring and summer, we'll definitely be more. I think in a weird way though, it was good for us because we needed some trial runs and we needed some because we're fucking up like all over the shop. The live streaming and reporting is really hard to get it smooth every time.
You need more than one person for sure. You need one person covering, the camera person, right?
Yeah, well, we've got one. The thing is, we actually do have, because we've got me on camera, I've got Manny interviewing, and we've got someone in the studio who actually brings us onto the StreamYard because we run it through StreamYard. We don't just go straight to YouTube. And StreamYard actually allows us to stream onto multiple platforms, so we don't just stream onto YouTube. We're actually streaming onto I think Twitch and Twitter. Well, I think it's StreamYard. StreamYard actually has a facility that restreams.
Multi-destination.
Yeah. So, and also StreamYard itself records the footage for us. Because it's a paid service, it's not the free shit that I'm using. It's the paid one.
StreamYard records every video I've ever made, all the contents and stuff.
Yeah.
Private works.
So if YouTube kicks us out, we still have a copy of it. You know what I mean? If somehow YouTube stops our streams or for whatever reason YouTube screws with us, we have a copy of the stream and then we can chop it up and post it onto other things. The guys do that. I'll be honest. I'm just mostly the fucking cameraman. I said to them, I'm not editing shit because that takes way too long and it's just too much of a pain in the ass.
It's a different skill set, man. It's a different skill set.
Well, yeah, but also it consumes a ton of hours. I can do it, but I just like, you guys do the editing, I'll shoot the shit, and I'll, and you guys can just direct me to whichever area you want me to shoot, and I'm just that's all I'm gonna do.
Elron makes good edit.
Yeah, Elron actually is. Yeah, I saw Elron's edit on